Hey guys, so if you use Midjourney and you also do product imaging in Cinema 4D, I think this video is for you. I came across something that has saved me a ton of time in this industry. So I'll show you some examples of what I've done here and what we're about to get into. So I have a industrial client here that wanted to show their water heater inside some environments. So instead of building out the entire environment in 3D, what I did is I brought these images, or I took these Midjourney images here that I've generated and just added the product inside of it. And I really pulled off the realistic effect. Everyone was happy. It turned out great. And I didn't have to use Photoshop to fake shadows. It's kind of as real as it can get. So let's go ahead and hop right in here and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so we are inside of the Midjourney website here, and something cool that I haven't seen many people talk about is if you go under the Explore page here, you can see everyone else's generated images that they've done, and you can even go and type in keywords and find images as well. Now you can't use these for commercial purposes because I guess they're not your images, but you can go in and see the search or the prompts that they have used to create the image, so you don't have to start from zero as far as that goes. So that's helped me out a lot, but for the purpose of this I am going to take this image because I'm not going to be using it for anything, so go ahead and do that. I think this is just an abstract mock-up with a podium in it, and that's kind of important because in these images you want to find something that has a platform to really sell the effect. So let's go ahead and download this and launch Cinema 4D. Okay, so we have launched to Cinema 4D, and this is the scene that we are going to break down. So let's go ahead and open the new scene here, which only has our product in that we want to add. Something really important before you begin is the image that you've downloaded here. You need to check its dimensions, which this one's 1456 by 816, and make sure that the output correlates to that in the render settings. So if you don't like those dimensions, I would recommend taking it into Photoshop and scaling it the way you want it to, or expanding it. Plenty of ways to do that, but for this one, these dimensions work fine. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to want to do first is bring in the background. So if you go into the Redshift render view here, there's a little arrow on the right side that drops down the settings. So if you go into this, you'll see that there's a background option, which I'm going to check on. And under the drop down, you can see there's an image slot here, which we can then go in and select the image that we've downloaded. And boom, we have that inside, and it looks horrible. So something that we're missing, we can line it up, but there's no shadows. So to really sell this effect, you need shadows and reflections. So we're going to create a geometry for the part that needs to catch the shadows and reflections. So we'll go over here and we will add a disk. And first things first, actually, let's create a camera so we can line it up and really see what's going on. So we'll go into Redshift here and we'll select the standard camera. And for this one, I like to make the focal length around 75 for most of my product shots. And I'm going to go ahead and get clicked into the camera here to see what's happening. So I'm just going to line up my product the way that I want to see it on there, and probably scale this up a bit so you can really see what's going on. That's probably good right there. We're going to go into the camera again, but leave it there for now and select out of the camera. And on the Redshift render view, what I like to do is make sure the Redshift camera is selected, so you can move around in the viewport and not have to touch the render view. So let's move this plane down so it kind of matches where it needs to catch the shadows. So for this one, we're going to want to make sure that the little cylinder podium is completely covered here, because that's where the reflections need to be caught. So okay, so we can see here that the geometry pretty much covers all the surface that we need it to. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the disk segments, or the disk rotation segments of it, so it looks a little cleaner. And that looks good for now. So what we're going to need to do is add a shadow catcher. So I'm going to create a new node material in the materials tab here, and going to delete the standard. I'm going to hit Shift C and type in shadow up here, and you'll see the match shadow catcher. Just double click on that and pipe that into the surface output. A few options that you need to select here is background is environment, make sure that's clicked on, and reflections is catch reflections, make sure that is clicked on. So that's all we need for now. We can go ahead and adjust that if needed. So I'm going to drag that node onto the disk, and we'll see that, well, you can't really see we are catching reflections, but there is no light. So we need to create a dome light to really see what's going on. We'll go to Redshift, Lights, and make sure we add in the dome light. Now I'll use Grayscale Gorilla's HDRI pack, but if you don't have that, just go and find an online resource and drag it into the texture here. But for me, if I go ahead and drag the texture in, and I have an array, and I go to the Pro Studios metal, and I've selected that one here, which that looks amazing, doesn't it? We'll go into the dome light, and since I already messed around with this, I'm going to make the intensity 8, and for me that actually works just fine for this. But underneath you can see some reflections happening, which kind of sells that effect a little bit, and there's also some shadows. So just kind of the way we even have it here looks okay. You can make sure that the plane is more fit to the podium here, and mess with the lighting a little bit, but these are the fundamentals. And yeah, I really hope this helped you guys out, because it saved me so much time when doing some of these product renders. So I hope you would consider subscribing, because I plan on doing a lot more of these videos in the future. So thank you guys for watching.